By the end of this video, you are going to clearly understand the differences and similarities between OpenClaw and Claude Code and what each of them are meant for. If you go on X, you've probably seen a ton of posts about OpenClaw recently. It's one of the most viral tools in AI. And if you search OpenClaw on X, you're going to see a ton of posts about people talking about what they are building with OpenClaw. So on a high level, OpenClaw is meant to be your AI personal assistant. This is different from Claude Code, which I'm going to talk about later. OpenClaw is specifically meant for this personal assistant type AI that does things for you and helps manage your life. It's open source. Any model can be used with it. A lot of people are using the Claude models, and that's where a lot of it gets confusing because Claude Code is obviously using the Claude models, and a lot of people are doing that with OpenClaw. But you can put any model on OpenClaw. So you could connect it to OpenAI. You can also run it on local models. That's why people are purchasing Mac Minis. Here on X, we can see tons of people are purchasing Mac Minis to run OpenClaw so that they can have it on a separate device. This is for security reasons, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later, but also so that they can have a powerful machine that can run local models. So if you run a local model, you are only paying for the hardware and the electricity. You don't have to pay for the inference cost of sending an OpenAI call or a Claude API call to get the response back. So it's open source. You can use any model and it runs 24/7. This is another reason that people like having it on a Mac Mini because you can plug it in. It's always on. You can send a text message to it and get a response back at any time. If it's on your laptop and you close your laptop and shut it down, it won't be online anymore. You also can host it on a virtual machine in the cloud, and then it is always going to be online as well. And then you're going to just pay for the hosting of the virtual machine. So that's another way that you can do it. And right now you do have to be a little bit technical. And there are a lot of tools out there where people have created SaaS products where you can just create an account. They'll handle the virtual hosting for you, and then you can have OpenCloud. Otherwise, there is some technical ability needed to actually go into your terminal, set it up on your computer correctly. Someone has created a whole business called Setup Claude, basically doing both like virtual setups with people over Zoom and also literally going to their house and helping them set it up on a Mac Mini. So there's a lot of businesses sprouting up around OpenClaw. So it's meant to be your personal assistant, connect to tools like Gmail, to your calendar. It can even build apps for you because it can basically do anything you can do on your computer. It's going to take over your computer. Whatever you give it permissions to access, it can access. That's another reason people are putting it on a Mac Mini or a separate computer so that it's a clean device and you're not giving it access to your current computer, which might have access to your passwords, to your bank accounts, to things like that. But there is definitely security concerns involved with all of this. So the overall overarching idea behind OpenClaw is that it works with all of your existing, apps and tools that you have on your computer because it can use everything on your computer. And it's really easy to use. You just message it from your phone and it has memory built in. So as you send messages, it's going to remember things about you and continuously get better. And then you can also set reminders, basically cron jobs, to basically check in on a daily basis or even every hour or however often you want it to basically wake up and do something. And then you can have whatever it does be custom. So that's where kind of this personal assistant thing comes in because it's connected to all of your tools on your computer. And then you can also just message it directly through WhatsApp or Telegram or Discord or Slack. So it's, an AI assistant that has access to all of your tools. So the reason this has gone so viral, it's not because there's been some like a breakthrough in the models necessarily that made this possible. It's really just the way that everything is working together. So it runs on your machine. That's one. So it has access to everything. Works with any chat app. So it's easy to use from something like Telegram. It has memory, like I mentioned, browser control. So it can do anything you can do on a browser. Full system access, which gives it the ability to do anything on a computer. And it has skills and plugins, which basically just give more functionality. A skill is basically, and this is similar to Claude Code, which I'm going to talk about in a second. A skill is basically a markdown file of just instructions of how to do something. Claude Code, on the other hand, is quite different in many ways. There are two main ways it's similar. You can use the Claude models on both. A lot of people, as I mentioned, are using the Claude models on OpenClaw, but it's also an agentic system. So you can tell it to finish a task. It's going to have access to your computer, whatever you give it access to. So it runs on your computer. It's an agent that can do things on your computer. Anything you can do, it can do. but you have to give it permission for things. It's a little bit more technically challenging to actually give it permission for everything that it needs, but it is definitely possible to give it that same Gmail permission or calendar permission. You just have to know what you're doing a little bit more to actually integrate it. You also run Claude Code through your terminal. So your terminal, this is what it looks like. If you're non-technical on your computer, you can search terminal and it'll open up, and then you install it. You literally type Claude and then you'll have a Claude Code terminal, and it runs within that terminal. So this is very different from OpenClaw, which can run from your Telegram app or your Slack app, or you can communicate with it over Gmail. So this is a big difference, is that it's really just a little bit more technical and harder to use. While OpenClaw is a little bit harder to get started with from a technical standpoint, unless you're using one of these SaaS products that let you just create an account and start using it. With Claude Code, you just go in your terminal, you install it, but then you're in your terminal. So it's not really built to be a personal assistant. What it's really built for is for building apps and having it write code. So Claude Code is really great at writing code. You can use it inside of coding tools like Cursor. You can have it inside your any IDE. You can even just be in terminal and have it write code for you. It can build apps. It can access anything on your computer. It's a really, really good coder, and it's agentic, and it's able to really think through the problems that you want to solve. It can create sub-agents. It can do a lot to help you write code. But that's really on a high level a big difference between Claude Code and OpenClaw. OpenClaw is an agent for your personal life, kind of a personal assistant, or an agent for your work, like a work assistant. And Claude Code is a coding assistant. It's meant for writing code. Claude has another product called Claude Cowork. Claude Cowork launched around the same time as OpenClaw, and it basically takes the agentic system of Claude Code, puts it into the browser. You can work in any folder on your computer, so it can access your files and make changes to them. It has some connectors. It can connect to some external apps, but it's missing a couple key things that OpenClaw has, which is that Claude Cowork, you have to go in and actually ask it to do things. It's not going to run on a schedule. It doesn't have as many connections as OpenClaw has, but it's kind of a similar idea of automating your work or personal life. And I think that this is something we're going to see released really soon from Anthropic, is a version of basically OpenClaw on Claude Cowork that has some of these additional features to make it an always-on assistant. And I would not be surprised at all if OpenAI releases something really similar as well. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more content like this for free, and leave a comment below to let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.